The sun rode high and pitiless in a sky of burnished brass, hammering the anvil of the borderlands with a silence older than the kingdoms of men. It was that stagnant hour when the day hangs suspended and the earth gasps for breath. The Cimmerian kept the vigil of the wolf, while the daughter of Kauran sought refuge in the dark country of sleep. But on the road to the north, the blackness brought no rest. It brought a dislocation of the soul. The material plane was sheared away. The dust-choked air vanished, replaced by a light that blasted the senses, the crushing amber radiance of a time before men had tongues to name their gods. She stood now upon a floor of polished obsidian that stretched to the rim of the universe, beneath a sky swirling with the bruising purples of ancient royalty. Then came the thrum, a vibration that rattled the marrow. From the golden haze they materialized, not the degenerate things that hissed in the dark, but the architects of the dawn, majestic, terrifying, draped in the weight of eons. In the crushing silence of the void, stripped of her armor and her road-stained confidence, her instinct sought the iron shadow that guarded her sleep. She turned, searching the amber haze.
Conan.
The name was a small, fragile thing, instantly swallowed by the vastness. The answer that returned did not come from a human throat, but from the vibrating architecture of the dream itself. One was slender, his head crowned with ridges of bone, his eyes burning with the cold, ruby fire of a reckoner who has already counted the world's last day. This was Ishkandrel. The other was broad, an armored titan leaning upon a staff of metal that drank the light, his shoulders encased in plates of gold that mimicked the scales of dragons. This was Moruveth.
We are not the Cimmerian, little queen.
Yasmela did not flinch. The instinct of 1,000 frightened ancestors screamed in her blood, the primal terror of the ape facing the viper. But she strangled it with the cold pride of her station. She smoothed the silk of her shift, her chin lifting to expose her throat, not in surrender, but in defiance.
I know you. My father whispered of the shapes that dwelt in the gold. He called you the architects.
She stepped forward, looking Ishkandrel in his burning ruby eyes.
You are not demons. You are the dead.
Ishkandrel tilted his head, a gesture of avian curiosity that shifted into something resembling approval. The chilling intellect behind his gaze sharpened.
She does not scream. She does not cower. Is it possible the blood of Kauran has not grown entirely to water? Most mortals shatter when the veil is lifted.
Moruveth rumbled, the sound like tectonic plates grinding deep beneath the earth.
But this one, she has the stillness of the predator. We are the pact.
The slender lord hissed, pleased.
We are the covenant.
They bowed, slow, courtly, terrifyingly civilized.
We are Ishkandrel and Moruveth, O Queen of Karan. Finally, a daughter worthy of the oath.
Ishkandrel raised a clawed hand, and the golden void shattered. Reality twisted. Yasmela gasped as the obsidian floor dissolved, replaced by a balcony overlooking a city that defied imagination. Valusia, the city of wonders. It sprawled beneath a violet sky, a metropolis of crystal spires and Titan masonry that made the proudest cities of the Hyborian Age look like mud huts. Processions of serpent men moved through the streets in palanquins of pearl and jade, ruling a world that had not yet dreamed of humanity.
Look upon what was.
Ishkandrel commanded.
Before the oceans drank Atlantis, before the sons of Arias were spawned in the north.
Yasmela watched as the vision shifted. She saw the serpent men grow decadent, obsessed with the reality of rule, turning their vast intellects to petty cruelties and shadow games.
Our kin grew drunk on power.
Moruveth's voice rumbled.
They forgot that civilizations are not kept by strength alone, but by vision. They sought to infiltrate, to mimic, to rule from the shadows.
Then a figure strode into the vision. A man of iron muscles and a tiger's grace, holding a bloody axe. Kal, the barbarian king.
We saw the end coming,
Ishkandrel murmured, and for a moment the ruby eyes held a sadness as deep as the sea.
We saw the barbarian, Kull of Atlantis, rise to crush the serpent beneath his heel. Our brethren fought him. They died hissing in the dark. We did not fight,
Moruveth said.
We recognized the turning of the wheel. We chose to endure.
The vision swirled. Yasmela saw the two ivory sorcerers weaving a spell of impossible complexity, singing their physical forms into the metal of a golden bracelet. They chose the cage over extinction. The scene shifted again, violent, jarring. Purple towers rose against a blood-red sky. Python, the stronghold of Acheron. Yasmela felt the phantom pain of the serpents. She saw the bracelet locked in a vault, pulsating with agony. She saw Acheronian sorcerers, pale, cruel men with eyes like Valyrons, draining the bracelet's energy to fuel their dark altars.
3,000 years.
Ishkandrel, the veneer of civilization cracking to reveal pure, molten hate.
Enslaved by the upstart wizards of Acheron, they bound us and siphoned our souls. using our stolen essence to sustain their demons. We learned hate in the dark,
Moruveth added.
and we learned the long taste of patience.
Fire, smoke, the roar of bronze-clad warriors. The vision showed the fall of Python, the ancestors of the Hyborians storming the purple towers, and leading them, a warrior in the crest of Kauran. He smashed the Acheronian altar. He lifted the golden bracelet from the ruin, and the serpent men manifested. Yasmina watched her ancestor, a king whose name was Dust, stand before the ivory projections. He raised his sword, but he did not strike. He listened.
We offered him the truth.
Ishkandrel said.
We were not his enemy. We were the enemy of his enemy. And the enemy of my enemy is my sword. The oath was struck.
Moruveth intoned.
We would lend our wisdom, our sight, our ancient strength to his bloodline. In return, he would carry us. He would let us witness the world of men, and he would feed us.
Yasmela blinked, the vision fading back to the obsidian void.
Feed you.
She whispered.
Feed you what?
Ishkandrel smiled, a thin, razor-sharp expression.
The death of your enemies, O Queen. We consume the extinguishing spark of those who oppose the covenant. We drink the shadows to blacks.
The two serpent men loomed over her now, closer than before. The golden light dimmed, focusing on the bracelet upon her wrist.
The Cimmerian has his blade,
Ishkandrel said softly.
the Unmaker. It is a crude thing, a hammer of cosmic negation. But you...
Moruveth leaned down, his face inches from hers.
You have the architects of Valusia. Zephyros has fallen.
Ishkandrel continued.
His essence was rich. It woke us from our long slumber. But we are still weak. We are ghosts in the gold. If you wish to reclaim your throne,
Moruveth rumbled.
if you wish to stand beside the Cimmerian and not be swept away by his wake, you must feed us, not with crumbs, with the souls of sorcerers, with the ruin of armies.
They extended their hands.
Accept the mantle, Yasmila of Koran. Be more than a princess. Be the carrier of the oldest wisdom.
Yasmila looked at the bracelet. She felt the hunger pulsing against her skin. Not a parasitic draining, but a shared appetite, a symbiotic demand for power. She looked up, her golden brown eyes hardening. The fear was gone. In its place was the cold calculation of a survivor.
The road to Samaria.
She said, her voice steady.
There are enemies.
Legions.
Ishkandrel promised.
And sorcerers.
Many.
Moruveth agreed. Yasmila smiled, and it was a smile that would have made her father shudder.
Then we shall dine well.
Conan stepped from the glare of the sky, his shadow falling across her. "On your feet," he said. "The world doesn't wait. We move." Yasmela heard him clearly, the weight of iron, the simplicity of motion. Yet beneath his voice another current moved within her, the serpents stirring, the northern cold still clinging to her thoughts, the covenant coiled and patient. A road unspoken pressed against her silence. Whether she carried the truth to Conan's side or kept it locked behind her eyes, the moment held, unchosen, unresolved, alive. The march continued, and elsewhere another path began to open. In the Black Gate realm, Chekim stood before the throne of balance. The void was absolute, the pressure crushing. The pillars of this age tremble. The great mending demands a strength beyond your reach. The tapestry frays, and the hand that wields the needle must be harder than iron. Chekim stood immobile, accepting the decree. He closed his eyes, then opened them, his voice raw with the truth he had carried since the fires of Kauran. The champions met. Zephyros was unmade. Yet no matter what deeds are wrought in the north, Hyboria ends in ruin unless the Cimmerians remember. He gestured into the abyss as if pointing at the dying world beyond. The veil rotted because the sons of Atlantis turned their backs on their glory. They sought the brooding silence of the hills and forgot the oath. It was not the hammer of invasion, nor the whisper of sorcery that broke the world. It was the rust of abandonment. The throne's presence sharpened, focusing like a burning lens. The geometric certainty of the realm began to shift, and a second gate, shimmering with chaotic, agitated energy, began to coalesce near Chekim. It is time you seized the mantle of fate, for destiny's throne waits for no man. Without the sight of fate's throne, you are blind to the shape of inevitability. The portal pulsed, alive with the ghosts of things to come, futures born and dying in the same breath, a chaos of unwritten dooms. Chekim stared at it, feeling the weight of the offering. The throne of balance governed the scales, the restoration of order. But the throne of fate governed the loom, the weaving of what might be. To wield one was to carry the weight of necessity. To wield both was to become the hand that steered the ship of doom. The throne of balance delivered the final, resonant truth. The spirit grows vast only upon the three seats. For the traveler to become crosser of realms, the hand of correction cannot grip only one throne. Chekim stood between the two gates, balance behind him, fate before him. He thought of Conan riding north with the Unmaker to shame the Cimmerians into remembering their blood oath. He thought of Yasmela carrying the twin serpent, the last queen of a burned city riding into the teeth of the storm. He thought of Duma's words, the ancient jinn's fury and sorrow. The guardians became exiles, and in their silence the lock rusted through. And he thought of his grandmother, the walker of worlds who had pulled him through the gate as his tribe burned, who had raised him knowing the pattern would one day demand a reckoning. He stepped forward, toward the gate of fate. The void opened like a devouring mouth, and Chekim walked into the crucible that would forge him or break him. Behind him, the throne of balance watched. Before him, the throne of fate waited. And in the spaces between, the shape of the coming war altered, not toward victory or defeat, but toward the possibility of both.